Good evening. Good evening, everyone. And yes, I know that this isn't the time that you usually hear my voice. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Jeffrey. Good evening once again, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Adebija, and at this time, we're bringing you that moment, those minutes that are very critical between government and the people, talking about bringing you information that you should know. Because you know what they say, when you give room for misinformation, then the people will run away with whatever narrative is out there. And that is why today we have with us once again the spokesperson of this government, talking about Malam Ibrahim Musa. He's in the studio with us this evening. He's always been with us. He has always promised to bring us information as it comes to him, and then of course stepping it down to us. Today particularly would like to talk about investments in Kaduna State. Now, as investments go, you know that Kaduna State has become a hub of it. Kaduna State, I know a lot of critics out there will say with all that is going on in Kaduna State, but while there's a lot out there, negative narrative, there's even much more positive going on in the state. And that is why today we'll be talking about something so innovative that is happening in Nigeria and pilot in Kaduna State. We're going to be having Malam Ibrahim talk to us about zip line. I know a lot of people are going to be saying, what's zip line? So we're going to be starting from that. Malam Ibrahim, what is zip line? And yes, you are welcome once again this evening.
Good evening, Jackie. Good evening, listeners, and thank you for having me. First and foremost, Zipline is drone medical supplies company, which is based in California in the United States of America. What it does basically is to deliver medical consumables to health facilities, i.e. this circumvents hard to reach areas, terrains that are difficult to navigate, and places that are experiencing one security challenge or the other. Like I said, the company started in the US, but it first came into Africa in Rwanda. Thereafter, it moved to Ghana. It's now in Ghana. It's coming to Nigeria, and I'm very happy to tell you that Kaduna State, like you said, we use your word, will be the pilot. What is it for in Kaduna State? Well, like I said, you see, most times fatalities are recorded because, i.e., there's this syndrome of out of stock. Many hospitals run out of stock and of supplies of medicines. And before these things come, a lot of bureaucracy, back and forth, papers and signings and authorizations have to take place. And people are dying by the day because of all this red tapeism, so to speak. Then there's also the terrain. You agree with me that the reality of our today is that some places cannot be reached because of poor roads, because of difficulty of terrain, and of course because of challenges, security challenges. So people shouldn't die because of this. People should not get medical attention because of this. If they get medical attention, people should not be denied of consumables because of this. And in his ever forward-looking strategy, the Malam Nasir El-Rufai administration invited Zipline. Now look, come set up a hub here too and operate. Luckily, I was in Ghana. I went to where they operate. I was at Omenako, the operations center. It's amazing how what would have easily taken 1 hour to deliver by road on a good road, you deliver it in 50 minutes. I fired a drone, it went, delivered, came back It's so amazing. It's an amazing experience. It's a technology which will cut travel time for the consumables to be delivered, to improve our health systems. It would save lives, basically, yes.
I love the sound of that. It will save lives. You know, a lot of people too would ask Malam Ibrahim that with all that is going on, I'm talking about the negative, stories and happenings, events, as a matter of fact, that are going on in Kaduna State. One would think that Kaduna would be one of the last states that a company like Zipline would think about, how much more the pilot state in Nigeria. What attracted them to Kaduna State?
It's a serious government. It's a government where they know that their investment is secure. It's a government where they know that there is infrastructure for them to run their systems. It's a government that they know would not multi-tax them. One-off tax and you're good to go. It's a government that they know that has the people at heart. And that is why you cannot, because you don't, no one solves every problem before he brings investment. It's never done. You hear of drive-by shootings in the US, but people still go there. And people cross dangerous terrain to go to the US. But killings of blacks, Hispanics, and minorities go on a daily basis. But lo and behold, people go there because they think it's an El Dorado. So also investors. Money goes where it's safe. There's no emotion about money. There's no emotion about business and economics. Economics, it's about demand and supply, and it's about safety of investment. This primarily what economics is. And of course, as a businessman, if you can recoup your return on investments, why not? If not, so you wait for all problems to be solved before you make a move. It's not done. It will never be done, and it can't be done anyway.
All right. So while you yourself were speaking, you talked about some of those bottlenecks that have hampered, access to healthcare for a lot of people, especially in the hinterlands. Bad roads, insecurity, and even sometimes, just access to that to from one point to the next. So, how does Zipline hope? I know that this is a drone thing, but there's another bottleneck. I would like to call it a bottleneck in parentheses, which is insecurity. How does Zipline hope to circumvent all of these bottlenecks?
You see, we make a mountain out of a molehill of insecurity. It's not as if people get killed every day in Kaduna or in Nigeria. There's insecurity. That's a fact of life. Governments at subnational and federal levels are trying to surmount them. But having said that, first and foremost, the people will own the project. In the recruitment exercise, where these hubs, where these sites will be placed or will be situated, there are 3 anyway in Kaduna. They will cover the entire state. The one that's about being ready is the one at Pambigua. 1, a category of staff, messengers, drivers, security men, and people really down below, will be recruited from the community. That's 1. Secondly, the nurses, the paramedics, the pharmacists, the public health personnel will be recruited from Kaduna State. You won't see all whites coming now. Then little or the expertise of the drone expertise, of course, will come from outside initially. Thereafter, there will be a transfer of technology. So ab initio, the people own it first and foremost. So they are bound to secure that investment. They'll see it as their own. And they'll see how it's impacting on lives. They'll see how lives are being saved. That enough will make them ward off any miscreants that will trespass, that will go on a stealing binge or that would do any kind of wayward thing. That's at that level. Of course, government will give them adequate security. It's not the first investment. Olam is there. Have you heard anything about Olam? It's on the dreaded Kaduna Abuja road. But what have you heard about Olam? Security. That's it. Because you cannot secure everybody doesn't mean you cannot secure some people or some people who add value. I mean, it's a fact of life. It may sound callous, but that's the fact. The government was not elected to tell people what they want to hear, but the truth. That's a fact of life. We are living with insecurity. Bad about it. But should we fold our arms that all things must fall in place before we make a move? Not feasible, not advisable, terrible thinking.
So it goes without saying then that Zipline will be protected. They will have security. I would like for us to talk about something else apart from insecurity as regards Zipline, talking about who will be in charge of what. Will Zipline be the one now in charge of our pharmaceutical supply because they now are the ones who will be transporting it? Or would we have our command center, so to speak, in the Ministry of Health?
Thank you for this very important question. Zipline is not coming to replace government's responsibility of supply of providing consumables. It will just supply consumables. It will just supply consumables. That's what it can do, not purchase them. The consumables are there, but the problem, we have a health supply company, a huge warehouse in Kaduna South, somewhere in Kapuri. But sometimes the problems are beyond just having them. It's to get to the end user. That's where Zipline comes in. That's a private company. You see, if you cannot do things yourself, you outsource. It is a fact of life. At a point, you are washing your own clothes. Now you take it to dry cleaners to free your energy to think of other things. That's how it works. A company does this well. It's been doing that in Rwanda, in Ghana. Come and replicate the success story. That's what Zipline is coming to do.
That's really, really interesting. Just to quickly backtrack on something you talked about. You said for now, there's an office, or I wanted to say a hub, but an office somewhere in Pambegwa.
Yes.
Where we don't know where the other two offices will be.
Yeah, yet to be determined across. That's where political considerations will be. It will be spread across the geopolitical. Several factors will come into play. But let's start somewhere. You see, you can't all get all the variables right before you start. That's another problem. You see, perfection is the enemy of good. You don't stay till you get everything before you make a move. Even before you get a university, did they say you should pass all credits? Get 5 credits and move. But if they insist you get all credits, I don't think many of us would have gone to school. Yeah.
Okay, that's on a lighter note. Talking about, you talked about drivers and some of those people in the lower Kada. I mean, talking about the opportunities and the advantages of having Zipline come to Kaduna State, talking about people getting employed and all of that. And then you talked about another Kada, which is the pharmacists, the health personnel. Now, for me, the concern would be what has always been a bottleneck or a challenge, usually in the public health sector. You train one person for a certain duty or something, and then that person gets transferred somewhere else. So how do we intend to put this into consideration?
Let's get this thing straight.
Okay.
It's a company. It's a company. It's not Kaduna State. Kaduna State is an enabler. It's a business. You get it? It's not about Ministry of Health or Ministry of whatever. A business is coming to set shop in KD. That's it. And in their own wisdom, they think, yes, how do we secure this ownership? How would we secure this business apart from the physical or kinetic security of deploying military men and what have you? The best way is for the people to own it. And we employ them. We put food on their tables. From there, the senior cadre will be, anyway, let's face it, no local government or catchment area will get the entire topmost cadre. We'll expand the dragnet, we'll cast the dragnet further afield. That means the state. You get pharmacists, you get doctors, you get public health people to come and also work. That is it. And before they work, they go to an academy. There's a zipline academy in Ghana where they will go through the rudiments of how the things operate, because this cutting-edge technology is avant-garde, it's state of the art, it's just coming. So they are the ones to invent the wheel. Right now, people of Kaduna State origin are there. In Ghana, in that academy, we met some of them. They had beautiful testimonies, and they are singing the success story.
People from Kaduna State?
People of Kaduna State origin. People.
Working with Zipline already in Ghana?
Yeah, no, well, in the Zipline Academy. That means it's been recruited.
Okay.
They're just being put through the rudiments of how this operation works and what. They're professionals there. The one I met said he read public health. So it's not about government recruitment. It's there. It's been put on the web. Yeah, so if you feel it, you apply. It's not about somebody giving you notes to go to.
Okay, so let's get this straight. Zipline will be putting those personnel on the ground, not the government.
It's not government. It's not government. Go ask, go do your surveys. How many times does the government intervene in the recruitment of Olamfo? Neil. All these interferences are what brings people down. That's why businesses are better run than some aspects of government, apart from Kaduna State. In Kaduna State, square pegs, square hole. Yes, it's good enough if you know somebody fine. You just put your foot at the door. Then, of course, what are the other things? Write an exam, pass good. Go for an interview, pass good. And what have you read, pass good. And you go there. And you're constantly being evaluated. When you fall short, you're shown the way. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
All right. So that means that we would look at having Zipline with us for a very long time, seeing as they're bringing a whole lot.
You're saying a very long time. It will outlive you and I. It's a business. This young man was not here when Coca-Cola was here, but he's still here. Oh, of course they've left here, but some of these companies, I mean, a business, it's for life. Coca-Cola was more than 100 years. It's still there from family to family. So except if operating environment becomes, of course they are there to make money, they're not a charity, they could go elsewhere. And as you see, Nigeria is a huge market. What are you talking? 80 million? You think they will leave this continent? Well, this country? They will not. They're business people. Whatever it is, they will circumvent it and navigate and see how to be doing. They don't have a market in the US because these things don't exist. And boys say you're a Californian-based company, but their biggest operation hub is in Ghana. And Ghana, what's their population? Think of Nigeria. The biggest in the world is in Ghana, not in the US, because US don't have these challenges. So Nigeria is Ghana +2. So the challenges are +2. So the market will be +2.
I like the way you put that. It makes us forget our problems for a moment there. All right. So before we open up the phone lines, there are just one more question I would like to ask you, which is about delicate cargo. Even though before we even open up the lines, I would like for you to also describe to us what you saw when you were at that facility. How does it work? How does the drone take off? Where are those things kept on the drone? How big is the drone? And then when it gets to destination, what happens? Is it that the people there will collect the drone, like go there and manually remove the supplies? I would like for you to describe the process. But before then, or maybe I should just say, let's marry everything together. Delicate cargo, talking about vaccines, talking about blood. There are so many things that could need to get to a certain place ASAP, but also with the right temperature. How is Zipline going to handle this?
All this has been factored in Zipline's operation. Let me walk through.
Because Californian weather isn't Nigerian weather.
Let me walk through how it operates. First and foremost, a health facility, because we saw it live. A health facility will place an order. We need A, B, C, and D. Place an order to the fulfillment department. Let's assume this is a Zipline hub. Mm-hmm. You have a studio, you have all this, So, first and foremost, the health facility will say, give us A, B, C, and Z. They place the order. It could be by phone, by email, depending on the urgency. And the people who collect the order are professionals. They know all these things. They collect the products. There is a barcode to find out, to double check that is this the product, apart from the label. Yeah, this is chloroquine, for example. You put it. You collect everything and put in a package. When you put in a package, you now send this package. It's the next door. You send it to the delivery department. The delivery department now double checks what was on the order, then takes the drone, open the hatch, put the package, take a barcode, take the reading of the barcode and put it on drone that, look, you are going to Yusuf and so on. It programs it just by the. It's like your cell phone, just from the barcode. Then you put it on right. It doesn't take 2 seconds, like this, and you slide. Now the drone has been coded where to go. Fine and good. After that, then they do the preliminary checks. It's like a small aeroplane, a small aircraft, miniature aircraft. So, of course, they will call the civil aviation industry, department of Ghana. That's what it is. Yes, drone so it's about to move. Drone ABC is about to move. They will give them clearance because they are going on air. This road, it's not as if it's an open sky. Just like we have roads on ground, that sky is calibrated with roads. Don't go and crash into another aircraft. No, don't go and crash into another drone. No, you think it's wide. No, it's also paved with tar and on the lighter mode. So, they give the clearance and the drone is put, and I fired a drone and you fired it and it goes. You see it on what you call user interface.
What do you mean by fire? What did you do? You just press the button.
You press the button and it moves like catapult. It moves, it shoots, it ejects, it goes. You see it on the user interface moving, over a monitor. You'll be seeing it. So as it moves, you call the place and say, your supply is out. Then 5 minutes before it drops, you also call them. So it goes. When it reaches the drop station where it's going to deliver, it releases the supply.
Okay, it doesn't land.
It doesn't land. The drone doesn't land. It releases the hatch. And the package is designed with like a parachute. Now the small umbrella opens, and it will come and land on a safe place. You come and collect your supplies. And it's so packaged that those delicate materials, everything is factored. And if it's the same temperature, like blood, like vaccines, like you said, sub-zero temperatures, it will deliver on that sub-zero temperature. We've seen it done. That they need so COVID vaccine in so facility. We remove it from the cold room, put it in one container that is also maybe with the same temperature as in the cold room, or blood, and they put it on the drone and it goes. So there's nothing like.
Are these procedures dependent on electricity?
It's dependent on electricity. Don't forget, we have a Kaduna power supply company. There are some communities that are even off-grid now. We don't depend on NEPA or PSA or TEDCO or CARE.
We have communities that are not dependent on
Yes, in fact, only 2 weeks ago, there's this community in Gabi local government, which has been commissioned. Capsco, scroll, Google, and you see. It's an off-grid community. We are trying to replicate all this around Kaduna. Today,
where does their own electricity come from? Just to digress briefly.
From the sun, solar powered. Solar power, 24/7, clean energy. That's the future. That's where people are going to. Your oil one day will be consigned to the museum. People are moving away from oil. People are going to gas. Yes, today we signed a gas a memorandum of understanding with the gas supply company that will be supplying gases to our business concerns, that it will reduce, it will bring constant power and reduce dependent on the national grid. This is the future. We think Kaduna State, the government thinks ahead. We look at things 5, 6, 7 years prior. That's it. So the drone, it's a simple, this exercise I put you through wouldn't take 10 minutes. From when the order is made till when the drone is fired, it's clockwork. Not take 10 minutes. The drone moves. In Ghana, they supply 100, they make 100 deliveries a day. 100.
And this will not affect the price or the pricing of the drugs and all those other consumables that will be dropped?
Well, that's where the government is. Well, I don't know the details of that, to be honest with you. I don't know the economics of that. I just know the mechanics of it. And this is what we're put through, and this is what I've explained to you. But the financials, as you see, that's a different ball game, and
because indeed it's a beautiful one.
Yes.
When this first happened in Rwanda, the whole world, was looking towards that direction and saying, when will this happen? Not even knowing that this was going to come to Kaduna State.
You see, in Nigeria, it's typical copycat fashion. Cross River too is coming. Yes, and I'm sure Lagos will fall in line. So
it's amazing that we do not even have we did have this in Lagos first. I mean, it's exciting actually that Kaduna brought this first. How far can this travel?
Well, it's your travel. They gave me the distance, but let me see. But okay, it can travel for 2 hours because they said a 2-hour by road delivery is being delivered by 15 minutes. 2 hours by road, 15 minutes by drone. So
really impressive.
Very impressive. It will go deliver and come back to base, and it will come and
it's beautiful to see.
It's clockwork. I mean,
beautiful to see.
So really, the world is going ahead. We should march in tandem. These things that years back when we had that in Ghana, even a shoe shine boy has a cell phone. It was like, wow, is it not happening now? So if something comes new, embrace it. Change is a fact of life. Embrace, don't run away from it or don't stay and resist it because it will sweep you away. Change is inevitable. Can you now, any person, do anything without a cell phone? Can you fill any form without asking what your cell phone number is? It's taken for granted. You can't do anything without your cell phone. Your bank details are there. Your certificates are there. Everything is with the phone.
Really exciting news for us here in Kaduna State, talking about a company called Zipline, and they are bringing an innovation that is going to be happening in Nigeria for the first time in Kaduna State. So Kaduna is pilot, not Lagos, not Abuja, not Port Harcourt or any other one of those cosmopolitan cities. It's happening in Kaduna State, and like we love to say in our lingua, we should laud it, because if we do not praise ourselves, who will come do the praising for us? And it is time for us to open up the phone lines. This is about healthcare, and so I know that there are quite a number of people who might have questions about all of this, talking about delivering our medical supplies with drones. So that means that pregnant woman in some local government area far from the metropolis, who has lost a lot of blood, and blood is needed for her, and there's no there's no blood that matches hers within the immediate surroundings, could actually have blood flown to her. This also means that this vaccinations of all sorts, not just the coronavirus vaccine, but every type, that sometimes becomes an issue where you are unable to vaccinate a child that has just been born, or, at the time when they're supposed to be vaccinated, because vaccines haven't gotten to you yet. I know a lot of friends who have covered stories where, because of the lack of medicine and at the time when needed, people passed on. But here we have a drone company coming in to cut all of that, to cut through all of that, all the red tape, all the, bottlenecks that hold us back as regards healthcare, to get it to us. All right, so we're going to open up the phone lines. We've asked the questions that we can ask. What questions do you have? With us in the studio, Malam Ibrahim Musa, media and publicity spokesperson for the Malam Nasser Ahmed El Rufai-led administration in Kaduna State, and we're talking Zipline, the Zipline supplies. Okay, so the numbers are 081 40,000 989. Once again, 081 40,000 989. Then we also have the number 070 87 800 989. Once again, that's 070 87 800 989. Okay, so while we're waiting for calls, Malam Ibrahim, of course, I'll be looking out, but you talked about the drone, but you didn't describe to us its size. I think I would love to know how big it is, because you talked about it like it's a tiny thing, but you also talked about the fact that it has capacity. So I'm just, in my mind's eye, trying to picture what the drone looks like. Is it like the drones that we see for the army, or we have other types? Sorry, I was about to pick your call and it got cut off. All right.
Yeah. It's you see, it's a standard drone. You see, photographers have drones. Drones are used in journalism. Drones are used by the military, which is the most popular of drones. It's the same type, only a bit smaller, but it's roomy enough to take these packages. Don't you see? Medical supplies are not really bulky, but they're just handy, So just have in your mind's eye that these drones have capacity. These drones can deliver consumables safe and sound.
Safe and sound. Yes. That I like the sound of that. Safe and sound. Still trying to take your calls this evening on this sponsored program. to bring you information. You know, a lot of times people say, but we didn't hear about it, we didn't know about it. Well, now here we are talking about Zipline. It's innovative. It isn't something that has been replicated anywhere in Nigeria. It's happening here for the first time, even though we're hearing from Malam Ibrahim that Cross River State have followed suit, and they also have Zipline going to Cross River State very soon. But we still get to have that title that it happened here in Nigeria for the first time. Drones delivering medical supplies. Let's go on a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we'll see if the phone lines have any questions for us. People have any questions for us via our phone lines. Several calls came in, and before I could do that, I just saw that it got cut off. So keep trying and do ask your questions. We'll be right back. Do stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. We're back still with Malam Ibrahim Musa here with us in the house, talking about Zipline, a company that is coming to Kaduna State to deliver medical supplies via drone. Consumables, you think about it, whatever it is, they are here to make healthcare delivery easier for each and every one of us, especially for our loved ones in the hinterlands, those people who have been impacted by our bad roads and all those other bottlenecks that has kept them from having adequate health care. Now, while we were on that commercial break, I did see several people trying to get through, and I understand what the network can be like sometimes. So we have the next 3-4 minutes to be able to get through and ask any questions that we might want to ask. And the lines are open. The numbers remain the same. They are 081 40,000 989. Once again, that's 081 40,000 989. Then we have 070 87 800 989. Once again, that's 070 800 989. Before you go, Malam Ibrahim, just an overview of what you saw, because you went to the head office in Ghana and you saw all that, was happening there. Okay, let me keep my question and ask this person to speak to you. Hello, good evening. Apologies there. Now, like I was saying, you went there, you saw what was going on. What's the reception of the average Ghanaian to this company's service that it's delivering?
No, they're ecstatic about it. And
we have a call.
Okay.
Hello, good evening. Good evening. We're connected. I can hear myself hollow back. Hello?
Oh,
okay, that call just got dropped once again. Well, keep trying. I don't know what is going on or why okay, I know why. It's the network. But keep trying. Yes, you were saying that the Ghanaians are
excited
open to this kind of change.
They're open to it and they're excited. Don't forget, Ghanaians too are very sophisticated people. They're next to only Nigerians in sophistication. And they welcome it. And don't forget, you see, the president invited them, really. You get it? When he saw, on the conference, I was told, he went to California, saw what they're doing, and he invited them to the country. They started with one area, the first, which is the smallest, the one we visited. Now they have 3 operational sites in Ghana. So, and you can see it's really, the service is really improving their health sector, because think of 100 supplies a day. It's huge. And think of lives that will be saved. Think of the Ghanaians that are being employed. Think of the taxes the company would pay. Think of the pay-as-you-earn tax that workers would pay. This all have a big impact on the local economy or the national economy. So it's really.
So is it too late to apply? Can people apply for jobs online?
I think yes, the portal is open because they told us apart from the online advert, they placed advert in the Punch and the Guardian. I said no, they made a mistake in the Guardian. The Punch, I can understand, is the highest circulating newspaper in the world, Kaduna, in Nigeria. But the Guardian, no. Guardian doesn't circulate much in Kaduna or in the North. I said they should have used maybe a Daily Trust. Incidentally, the Daily Trust reporter was with us.
Okay.
So they exchanged numbers. So it's going to be continuous, these...
the employment.
Yes, employment. Just the world has gone digital. Tap Zipline and say jobs. It opens. And they will tell you when, how, where. Like that.
Must you be just a medical? I know you're not a staff
I don't
of
think,
Zipline, but do you have to be a medical person?
I don't think, but a medical background will surely help. It would, because it's not
or technical people who have IT knowledge.
Yes, and IT knowledge, because I don't see any shuffling of papers. It's a practical thing. So you don't see people treating files. You don't see administrators. You just people on their system and they give the next. I mean, you don't. So all you see is gadgets.
Very efficient.
Very efficient and effective.
It will be cutting down on cost too, because thinking about it, cars, all those things, putting cars on the road,
yes, putting fuel,
staff on the road.
You give somebody an ESTA code or duty travel allowance for taking it to Bruningwari. It may not get there. The car may break down. You pay for repairs. All kinds of things that collapse.
All of that has been cut through.
Gone.
How soon are they going to start?
Oh, so we're looking at October. At least the Bruningwari one.
Okay.
It's going to kick off in October.
In October.
All things being equal.
All things being equal. So let's see if we can get just this one call, even though we've run out of time. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome.
My name is Paul.
Okay, Paul, you're welcome. Go ahead quickly.
Please, I just want to ask with the Nigerians, don't you think these people can hijack this drone in the bush?
Okay, you're talking about the bandits, right?
Yes, but apart from that, the businessmen who are anxious to do this, they can do it and hijack the drone in the bush and carry the drugs.
Okay, and carry the drugs.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Thank you,
You know
Paul.
what Nigerians can do?
Yeah, we.
So is this the only question you have, Paul?
Yes, please.
Okay, and thank you very much.
So,
very insightful question.
Thank you
there.
very much, Paul. We also asked that question. That this thing, can it be hijacked? They said no. If it moves, of course, it will come back to base. Yes. Any disruption in it will come back. You say not delivered. Delivery impossible. It will come back to base. And it's simply not hijackable. Because
you cannot bring it down.
You cannot bring it down. You cannot bring it down.
Because it doesn't land.
It doesn't land. It goes, drops, comes back to base. And if it's any disruption on its route, it just comes back. That's how it does its things. So we asked this particular question because in Nigeria, nothing is impossible. Or what Nigerians can do
does not exist.
Well, that's putting it mildly.
Well, let's hope that this time around, our natural proclivity to be charitable, especially to those people who will be impacted most, will prevent people from doing things like that, because there are people whose lives depend on those drugs getting to them. Well, we've run out of time, Malam Ibrahim. I would like to thank you so much for coming to sensitize us on ziplines coming to Kaduna State. Will there be a launching, a formal ceremony where people will know, or this is the heads up that we get?
Well, it's a heads up.
Okay.
Well, if you know, following the trajectory of Malam Nasir El-Rufai administration, we've never commissioned anything. Roads are built, open it and use. Have we ever commissioned anything? Or has the governor ever commissioned? Not even a commissioner, not even a small official down below. It's a job. You signed to do it. You've done it. So why the ceremony? The money spent on the ceremony could do one or two things and add value. So why? So we don't be these people who will be making testimonies and saying all the good roads, all the infrastructure upgrade, all the things we've been doing. You hear testimonies. But Malam does his things and moves on to another big project, legacy project. We don't do small 12-kilometer roads and start beating our chest. We do huge legacy projects that would not, it's not just about building of road or building of a bridge, but how that will impact on the economy, how that will cut travel time, how that will attract investors, and how that will add value and upgrade the standard of living of the people that the road passes through. That's what we do. Just don't go and put asphalt on the road. And things are always well thought out and always calibrated and always delivered for a specific purpose in this administration.
And on that note, we'd like to thank you very, very much, Malam Ibrahim Musa, for coming in this evening to sensitize us about what Zipline is coming to do in Kaduna State. Indeed, we look forward to even more visits from you as we roll towards the end of the year, and all the things that will be coming in. We want to hear about them. And of course, I know that other people too want to hear. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure in this Invicta Radio. You've been a nice host, and thank you for connecting me with your listeners and explaining to them what Kaduna State has been doing for all of us. Thank you.
All right. And do have a victorious evening ahead. Up next is our news at 6. Stay with us and remain victorious.